Number one question in my inbox: how much is spent on homelessness per person in the Portland area? The answer, unfortunately, is we don't know. But here's what we do know. According to Eco Northwest, which is an economic consulting group who did an evaluation of all of the money that is spent on homelessness in the Portland Tri-County area, that total huge number is $724 million spent in 2024 on direct homeless services. That means things like shelter, things like permanent supportive housing, which is for people who can't manage to live on their own kind of at any point, really direct services, street outreach, things like that. It does not include police time spent removing camps. It does not include healthcare costs for people who are living outside or for people just who don't have insurance, nor does it include insurance costs. Like a lot of people who are homeless have Oregon Health Plan, doesn't include those costs. And you're like, right, but that wasn't my question. My question is, how much money do we spend per homeless person in this area? So can't you just divide that number by the number of people who are homeless? Funny thing, we can't. There's a couple reasons for that. Here's the biggest one. The number of people who are homeless, I think we can confidently say it is around 17,000 in the entire area. It doesn't get us that far though, because here's the thing. Of all those direct services I just told you about, 50% of them are services for housing, meaning the people who are getting those dollars are housed, and therefore they are not part of the 17,000. This includes people who are, for example, facing eviction and they get eviction prevention funding. That is considered homelessness spending, but the person who got that funding was never at any point homeless, right? The entire thing they were trying to do was avoid being homeless. I think it is genuinely true that the numbers are harder to come up with than one might think. I mean, specifically people who are homeless are harder to count than people who are living at the same address and can fill out surveys and have complete and steady and reliable internet access. I think the other thing to keep in mind when we're really frustrated that we don't know exactly how much we're spending per person is that the amount that I just gave you, that $724 million for the region, we are, according to the Eco Northwest researchers, one of the only regions in the country that even has that number. The homeless services system is so bifurcated. Funding comes in from so many places and the funding goes out through so many agencies. It's very different than like K-12 education, for instance, which I covered for over a decade and can tell you is complicated in its own right, but it is one contained system. And part of the reason for that is there wasn't a homeless services system to speak of, 40, 50, certainly not 100 years ago, the way there was with K-12. So to learn more about this topic, click on the link in the bio.